2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this morning, Government House Chief of Staff Chidi Amadi resigns. Rivers State government promises to tackle unemployment. Pro-weekend lawmakers' request for 2024 budget continues to stir reactions. Police confirm number of casualties in Andoni boat mishap. EFCC releases suspended minister Betta Edu on bail. CBN sacks boards of some commercial banks. And on the foreign scene, Republican presidential candidate trade insult at Iowa debate. I am Ifechukwumoyeli with the news. The Chief of Staff in the Rivers State Government House, Chidi Amadi, has resigned. The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joseph Johnson, confirmed this, saying that Governor Fubara would announce a replacement for Mr. Amadi at the appropriate time. As you may know, Mr. Amadi is a relative of the FCT Minister Chibike Amechi. Is a relative of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Last week, there were speculations about had appointed SNA here as the new Chief of Staff. Now, the state government neither confirmed nor denied the rumors until this week. Yesterday, the State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, said the state government is determined to tackle unemployment in the state and boost investors' confidence to return to the state. He spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
All the companies that have gone that hitherto provided employment, quite a number of them will return. You will need to liberalize the process to make it very attractive. I want to believe strongly that when that happens, then quite a lot will take place. It will help to stem insecurity, to help to create employment. These ones will rev up employment for our teeming youths. When I talked about the MSMEs, it's a departure from what you have in the ministries. The 10,000 is just a section of what government intends to do. And if we liberalize the process, people can be self-employed.
Now, the commissioner also said the administration has planned for the agricultural sector.
We visited the Songhai farm, you recall, and then the governor had also said that he's going to release our agricultural lands to major investors. The governor had also said too that he was going to encourage investors in the palm oil, commercial oil and palm oil production. In the area of agriculture, you already know, I've already said that the governor is going to create a corridor for us to have food security as it were in the past, so that we'll have enough to even eat with the little monies that may be in our pockets.
Mr. Johnson further spoke on the non-payment of the Christmas bonus to some civil servants, saying it has been resolved.
That issue has been cleared. Some of them protested to Government House Gate on Thursday, and the head of service, Dr. Nweke, addressed them and assured them that the next day, which was last Friday, that they will all get. I'm not too sure there are agitations anywhere to whether anyone has been paid. It's been paid. It was problem with the banks, intra-bank transfers. For government to release the money to over 40,000 civil servants, which is in the neighborhood of about 4 billion.
Now, however, a man, Sontoye Kingsley, who claims to be a civil servant in the State Ministry of Education, says he still has not received his Christmas bonus.
Both Abuja High Court and Rivers State High Court have made pronouncement on this.
We got information that the governor released the money 100%, which the money is supposed to go around to every civil servant. We have gone to the banks, we have gone to the board, we have gone even to the ministry. We went on a peaceful protest, and the head of service addressed us. He gave us the assurance that the money will be paid, that is due to maybe network problem. Then on Friday, some persons randomly started receiving alert, meaning that they just decided to pay some few persons and leaving some persons blindly. Myself, I have not received, and so many others that are not here. Let something be done. We want our money paid to us.
Moving on, the request by the Martin Amehule-led Rivers State House of Assembly to State Governor Siminalayi Fubara to resubmit the already passed 2024 budget is still generating reactions. Recall that the 25 lawmakers seen as pro-weekend lawmakers at their resumed sitting at the Assembly quarters on Aba Road in Port Harcourt on Tuesday resolved to write to the governor over this. But Nigeria's envoy to the Netherlands, Orji Ngufa, Oji Ngofa, in a chat with journalists at the Port Harcourt International Airport, described the sitting of the 25 lawmakers as illegal, inconsequential, and an abuse of power. He said the 25 lawmakers are acting out script of their leader, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and are fanning the embers of anarchy in the state.
Both Abuja High Court and Rivers State High Court have made pronouncement on this. The former speaker had, from the point of law, declared their seat vacant. The appropriate thing to do is to give judicial clarity and interpretation given these two pronouncements. And that should be done by a court of higher jurisdiction, an appeal court. Until that is done, I do not think that the House has any right to continue to sit to give the governor an order. No sitting, no directive, no amendment of laws.
Mr. Ngofa described the 8-year Wike administration as suppressive and divisional without any actual development. He, however, called on former Governor Wike to allow Governor Fubara to concentrate on governance, development, and accountability to Rivers people.
The governor he thought he was bringing a stooge is been able to stand up to him and cut off the feeding bottle. The governor should be allowed to govern the state. And the minister, luckily, is a minister. We are all in Abuja with him. We are watching the incompetent steps he's taking, like he did in Rivers State. He should concentrate and do a better job in Abuja and leave the governor alone. I have been consistent in criticizing his 8 years of governance in the state. It was totally incompetent. Rivers State needs to be united now under government of the day.
Also, a professor of development economics at the University of Port Harcourt, Olu Robinson, said debating on an already passed budget will create more constitutional crisis, which may cripple the economy of the state.
The document of Abuja and Constitution, there are two different things. Resubmission of that budget is going to create a lot of problems, except the governor will lay hand in means and ways. It may affect salary. It may affect projects. The budget can be presented to a legally constituted assembly. Because then there was a speaker recognized by law telling the governor to resubmit that budget would mean that we go back to the initial preparation, doing projects and adding some projects. In all that, months will be going and it will affect Rivers State economy.
On the spot, a lawyer and a convener of the People's Advocate Courage Institute removal tells correspondent Yobiruware that the lawmaker's request is illegal.
Philex Center has filed a suit to restrain the governor of Rivers State from implementing the unconstitutional resolution. If the governor of Rivers State yields to the demands of the defectee lawmakers, he will cause a grave constitutional crisis in Rivers State. Is that if he yields, Rivers State will not have a budget, because a budget or any act by an illegal assembly will be null and void.
Recall that Governor Fubara had earlier presented the budget before the Edison Ehie-led lawmakers on December 13, 2023, amid the political crisis in the state. The warring parties later signed an agreement during a meeting with President Tinubu, which included the resubmission of the 2024 budget. Meanwhile, the national spokesman of Partners for Peace in the Niger Delta, Livingston Membere, says the curve of the political crisis in Rivers State is widening. Mr. Membere tells our correspondent that there is an urgent need for genuine elders to intervene. He said he has witnessed pro-Team and pro-Wike people engaging in a free-for-all fight in 3 different local government areas since the political crisis started.
There have been several skirmishes. We've heard of what happened to Honorable Darlington Oji, the former Chief of Staff of Ikwere local government. We've heard of what happened during the inauguration of the concerned accelerator patriots in Buguma. We've heard of several others. But I presently witnessed a scenario yesterday around the Rumokwashi area where pro-Wike supporters were about lynching a pro-Sim supporter, and the community youths and OSPAC had to come in. So this calls for concern.
In another development, as political parties gear up for the forthcoming local government elections in Rivers State, the acting chairman of APC Caretaker Committee in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, has received scores of Social Democratic Party members from Obiabo and Andoni local government areas into the party. Receiving the defectors at the party secretariat in Port Harcourt, Mr. Okocha said the APC under his leadership is determined to strengthen the party to take over governance in the state. He said he hopes that the political crisis within the PDP continues to harvest more defectors for the APC.
our principle is the more the merrier. We know that with you also have one or two persons who follow you or who you can convince to join the party. What we will assure you and assure your team is that we are going to be integrated everybody in one swoop. I have said before, there is no this faction, there is no other faction. All of those will collapse. What is major for us, what is paramount, what is uppermost for us here is victory. We want to sweep an inept government in Rivers State headed by SDP. We want to sweep PDP away from Rivers State. I'm sure you know that they are fighters.
Now, earlier, SDP candidates for Obiakpor State Constituency 2, Chikwe Olo, SDP candidates for Obiakpor State Constituency, Bright Amadi, and Andoni State Constituency, Mbowaji, spoke on why they decided to return to the APC.
I'm here with my friends. At least I'm sure of coming with 10 world chairmen of the SDP to join All Progressive Congress APC, where I belong, to see how we can move the state's APC forward.
When I realized that the journey that I took was not a good one, I had to consult with my wide view, and I think every one of my supporters is in sync and had hope with my coming back. We have actually come to see how we can do what we know how to do to win election. I'm coming here with hundreds of persons because I have 11 awards in Andoni. 7 of them are with me of the SDP. Why I come back to my party is because the party I chose then to join, SDP, realized myself that it's not a good party, a party that will carry River State more better.
Still to come, police confirm number of casualties in Andoni boat mishap. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Rivers State Police Command says 11 passengers drowned in the boat accident on the Andoni waterway. Now, the public relations officer of the command, SP Grace Iringikoko, said in a statement that the boat was transporting passengers from Okwa community in Ngo town in Andoni to Bonny Island and sank near Amariaria community in Finima town. Now, the statement said the OC Marine SP Ogarachi Chima got to the accident scene but discovered that 11 passengers had drowned. She said an investigation is ongoing. 5 children and 6 adults drowned in the boat mishap. The parents of the children are Yayi and Rose Festus, who survived the accident, spoke on this. Meanwhile, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has condoled with the families of the deceased. The governor, in a statement by his media aide Boniface Onyedi, assured that his administration will continue to work to ensure that traveling on the sea route becomes safer. Moving on, the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has been released on bail by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission after hours of reeling. Now, she was detained for approving the payment of about 585 million naira of the ministry's funds into the private account of a civil servant. In other news, the Central Bank of Nigeria has dissolved the boards and management of some banks. The affected banks are Union Bank, Keystone Bank, and Polaris Bank. For more details on this, don't miss the business news at 7. On the international scene, Republican presidential candidates Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley have traded insults at the CNN debate ahead of the Iowa caucuses. Now, the two candidates are hoping to eat into frontrunner Donald Trump's big lead into the polls ahead of the first true test with voters. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The Government House Chief of Staff, Chidi Amadi, has resigned. Rivers State government has promised to tackle unemployment. And on foreign scene, Republican presidential candidates traded insult at Iowa debate. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. To reach news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechuku Monyeli. Many thanks for listening.